Hello, Bluetooth. It's the one and only Icebound Glaceon, and this is just a quick tips and tricks video for Scrap Mechanic 1.0. I know in my series I'm going to be covering a lot of this stuff anyways, but I might as well just cover it in a dedicated video so you guys don't have to wait as long. Obviously, the series will show a little bit more, but yeah. So the first tip we'll get into that some people might not know, or some people, well, hopefully most people know, is when you do your first vegetable packing quest, where you have to deposit tomatoes into the packing station, you end up having to make a vacuum pump and a small chest. If you have a pond near your base, like, a nice little pond, there'll be little oil wells that are, putting out oil, and you could put your starting vacuum chest and the vacuum pump next to those oils. And if you find one that has a double or a triple, instead of putting, two or three vacuum pumps with chests, you can just put one. These have a 9 by 9 radius, so they cover, quite a big distance for where they can vacuum from the center point, obviously, so it'd be 4 blocks each way. And if you get it just on the edge of all three, you can actually use one vacuum pump for all three. And you can just leave it on and it'll suck up perpetually, which is awesome. It does only suck up once every 10 ticks, and it takes about, I think it's just over a minute for it to respawn. But there are ways where you can suck up things faster. So if you have, three XOR gates looped together instead of just an and XOR loop, three XOR loops or a self-wired XOR, which you can get by going to the Scrap City. It sucks up things a lot faster, because you could tell, like, a 4-tick loop does one item every 4 ticks instead of every 10 ticks. So it's about 3.333 times faster. While this method is an additional 50% faster than this one here. So it'd be every 2 ticks. So you can see that it fills up the chest a lot faster than doing it the old school way. And this also works for not only oil stuff, so you can get oil, you can get chemicals, and you can get water, but you can also have them auto sort using the water, chemical, and just a regular chest, because it always goes first come, first serve. And once this chest fills up, it will go to the next chest and then the next chest. So you can use like an extra large chest, or other more chests in the chain, just so you don't run out of inventory space, so it'll never go in backlog. Otherwise, this one already has extra space anyway, so it ends up being fine. And no painting isn't necessary for this method. It's just kind of neat that you can have auto sorting, where once that fills up, it automatically goes into here as well. And then, since you already have these close to a farm or whatnot, you could also have these going into, well, actually, the chemical one's only used for sticky wheels anyways, so that one's kind of pointless. And the next little trick that I assume most of you guys know is that you can have an input going into uh, a chest, making it into a large chest that makes it into a vacuum chest. So whenever you drop items nearby, I think it's within a 10-block radius on each direction, so like 20 blocks. It'll suck in things. So you get quite a big radius, and it can suck in a lot of things. And another thing you may not know, this one is a little bit of spoiler for the people that don't know, but it was a mechanic added. Not only can vacuum chests output seeds, fruits, vegetables, the regular stuff, you can also output explosives. And if we go underwater here, it actually launches them. And the cool thing about this is not only does the vacuum chest suck up things really, really fast, but it also can launch things super, super fast. So it's every 2 ticks. And yes, it gets quite obnoxious under the water. Luckily, there's no stupid amount of echoes, so they got the sound thing sorted. But not in closed off spaces, which kind of sucks. But yeah, the next thing that we'll look at is electric engines. So in the third girl lab, there is an electric engine on top of a ledge. It's a level 2 electric engine. And one thing they added as a feature is if you press E on the bearing, you can do differential steering, which allows you to do tank steering. And let's say if I hold left, it rotates to left, or I have it inverted, so I could just turn this to right. It's different, just two more. There you go. See, left, right, and you can see the speed is appropriate. And if I hold forward, forward, back, it does the same thing, same speed and everything. If you hold both at the same time, same thing, right? So you can have, your forward WSD going into tank steering essentially. But another cool thing is, let's say if I'm holding forward, again, you can see the RPM there. I don't know how well you guys can see that. You know what? Just in case, let's just put this onto the GUI at the top. Maybe that'll be a little better. So yeah, so you have 25 for forward, back, right, and left. And if you hold shift, it speeds up by, what is it, like 70% or something? Like it's a pretty big margin it speeds up by. Like from forget 150 degrees per second, 25 RPM to 40 RPM to 240 degrees per second. Like it's not an insignificant amount. Like obviously you'll use more fuel, but it gets more torque and higher top speed, which can help you out in a pinch, or if you just want to make your vehicle slightly faster. I don't know. It's better for acceleration and stuff, but the electric engine doesn't really have an issue with acceleration because it already has a stupid amount of torque. About a third, I think it's about 3 times less than a controller, unless you guys are on advanced physics. Then both of them are kind of just screwed. You lose about half your torque that way. For farming setups, if you have a constraint of water, if you put what would normally be like a 5x6 planting kind of farm thing, you can put it onto a swivel. This design's not by B, obviously, but you can put it on a swivel, and it will do a 10x10 area. So it does 100 plots instead of the 30 instead of a 5x5, which is very, very, very convenient. So you can see once it goes above that cycle, it should rotate. See? And it restarts. Goes to the next one. Yeah. So it'll just do a 10x10 area around the center point. Obviously, it will skip, the 3x3 in the middle, but everything around it will be fine, which is really freaking cool. So that's kind of cool, and you could just pause it at any time, and then you could hook this up to the the XOR loop, which can take 1-tick pulses. If you hook it up to the timer block, and you have this part at the end rotate, you can actually have a planter and vacuum chest, and if you really want to, a watering thing as well, but there's other ways to water as well that'd be easier, which is just putting the watering thing in the middle, pointing it upwards and rotating a little bit, because that'll get the whole plot anyways. This is more constrained for water, or if you want to plant seeds or vacuum them. For the planting and vacuuming, you can hook up the timer block to an XOR loop or self-wired XOR, and you can have it switch between when it vacuums things and plants things. So you can have a fully automatic farm with just, you know, one level 3 controller and another controller that rotates the end that's hooked up to a timer block. And the timer block you also get at the third Grow Lab. Same with the electric engine. So you get all these cool features just right away. And the cool thing about the electric engine thing, because I probably should have showed this earlier, is instead of having to do, a WSD converter with, gates as an output going into engines and having stacked bearings and all these, like, freaking, like, how many freaking bearings is this? Like, this is 47 bearings, which is not good for performance. Like, this still works, right? You can't speed up these by holding shift, unfortunately, because they're not hooked up to the seat. They're hooked up to logic, and it takes so many electric engines. But now you can just hook it directly up to the bearing, and you still don't need steering. Yeah, it just hooks up straight to there. You can still get your. It's a little fast. It's a little twitchy, but it works, and you can still hold shift, get the boost there. Even though these don't have the best friction, so the boost is a little mute. And then also with, suspension glitches still work, so you still have a turret on top, which is kind of cool. And it keeps its position. I don't know, it's old school tank stuff that people used to do, which is kind of neat. But another cool thing with, wow, scrap mechanic, jeez. there's so many things. With the Scrap City, you can bring in glitchable blocks as I mentioned before. It's really cool that way. So you can bring in all the stuff into survival. I'm gonna get rid of this stupid UI thing on my screen. Hey, let's get rid of that. Okay. Um, but you could also do. Oh, it's a flyer. I'll show you guys shortly. You could do frictionless pistons with glitch welding. And again, this stuff still works. You can spawn it in with the scrap skitty, or you can just do it in the actual game itself, which would be, this would be in its own kind of glitch welding video, anyways. But it's pretty easy to put blocks inside of each other still. As much as the devs wanna, make the game look a lot better by giving us suspension with steering and stuff, there's still so many cool things we could do. This one would be that. This one would be, no, max speed. If you put them both on low speed and you hook up buttons into it, you can actually have, you can have it pull in or, go out, which allows you to, have it lock in place, which is really cool. And all this is just two max range, no speed with one of them inverted input, and that's it. And those are really cool. Otherwise, if you have them both on max speed and max distance, you can have them being frictionless, which is really cool. But yeah, so you just go max speed, max that, and then you put down a couple bearings. But as I said, this would be more on another video that I would have to show, not particularly this one. But yeah, we'll do it anyways, doesn't matter. Controller. We'll just lock these. Oh. Thank you, Scrap Mechanic. And it'll be the second one that we rotate to 180. We're just going to add a little bit of weight to this. And we're going to add, again, just a little bit of weight to that. I have no clue why that activated on its own, but it is what it is. And then we can take this. Come on. And just weld that there. Stays nice and flat. We know which way is up because we placed this. Obviously, we could have put a block on top to tell better, and I might have messed that up, but it is what it is. And then we put down a switch. We hook this up to that and that. We place it on a lift. Place a block on top, and we can delete everything else. And now this should, hopefully... Oh, I did it backwards. Supposed to weld this way. So now if we input this, hopefully it is set up correctly. Let's see. Oh, maybe I did not. Maybe the piston is backwards. Or maybe one of them has the wrong setting. No, it looks like they're both connected. What did I do wrong? Maybe one of them's not supposed to be max speed, so we can try lowering it. No? Whatever. Again, I'll show this kind of stuff in another video, but yeah, you can glitch weld stuff pretty easily that way. As for the last thing I kind of wanted to show is, again, a lot of people don't know really cool new features, and I should have just fucking went straight over here to do it. Try using a plasma drill on a tree. Like, it's the easiest way to get charcoal, and I'm surprised how many people don't know about this. Just a really easy way. Once you get to the, like, before you even get to the underground, once you complete fixing the guy's tower for the second time, you can just, yeah, get stupid amounts of charcoal. The plasma drill can also break destructible blocks. So you have to be careful with the plasma drill on your base. So your cardboard, your scrap panels, your glass, destructible blocks you have to be careful with for those. There's also a lot of other platforms that you don't realize are destructible. But when you raid a ruined structure, you'll start like noticing like, oh, I accidentally hit it with a hammer, or a hay bot like swing at once and it destroyed. Like the spools are Are they destructible? That's a very good question. But the spools and the bracers are um, really good early game wheels. I know the first mechanic structure. Oh, it's not destructible. Nice. The mechanic structure gives you a small tire, but in the first couple structures, anyways, you kind of get well, not first couple. The most ruined structures will have spools in them, unless it's the really small ones. So these ones you can use as wheels. They're a little bit on the heavier side because they are massive, but the hitbox on the inside is really cool. So it actually takes up less weight this way. And then you also have the warehouse bracers, and these are just still the best wheels in the freaking game. They have really good traction. They have better traction than the large wheels. They'll be the same as the monster wheels, which I'm not going to show because again, it's supposed to be spoiler free. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but come on, it's a freaking flyer. It's a survival mode flyer, and it's camera controlled. Like, you can't beat this. It's so simple to build. It uses a tiny bit of glitch welding, not much. It's literally just, or sorry, not glitch welding, suspension glitches. So like you just hook up a suspension to the back there, have it hooked up to a bearing to there. I tried doing with the bearing suspension. It was acting quite weird that way. It wouldn't like rotate properly. And then you just added, a regular suspension glitch for pitch control, which you can use with A and D. And then you add another suspension glitch to controlling if you're finding it very twitchy. Otherwise, you could just add a little bit more weight to it. Delete, that suspension, delete the controller, and up the power on the thrusters, and that would work. Also, you have a bed, your chest. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Then you can hook up the the vacuum chest to one of these and put that chest on the front and just launch explosives at bots and stuff. Would be pretty cool as a transport vehicle. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any suggestions for things I didn't cover or things that you want me to cover, please do feel, you know, obliged to leave a comment or suggestion. I would absolutely love to get you guys' feedback, as I know I don't respond right away, but I'm quite happy when I see the comments saying, "Hey, your video, looking forward to it," or "Help me out," or "This actually worked," or "I didn't know," which is kind of cool that there's so many things in the game that they've added now, and there's still things I'm learning that we don't know yet, and once we find out, it's really really cool. Like Trammel gears, we didn't even know until like 2 or 3 years ago, which is a 2-to-1 gear ratio, which is just freaking cool. Like let's see, it'd be a ratchet kind of rigging mechanism. I guess I could spawn in this version. Like it's a freaking Trammel gear. It uses 2 bits of freaking toilet paper and some component kits with a jittering piston that's just set to low range fast speed, which makes it pulsate, and it just goes stupid fast. Like we didn't know about Trammel gears or ratchet engines or how to stack bearings onto each other and have them lock with a gas engine. Like rotation limiters using stacked bearings and controllers. We didn't know those things existed. Stacked bearings is when you have 2 bearings kind of attached into each other. It's a little bit convoluted to set up, but it's not too bad. It's abusing a little bit of welding to get that to work. But yeah, if you have that set up and you have 2 controllers on each side, you can have a rotation limit that way. So you can have like rotate one way to another. Oh, and another thing I didn't freaking mention. Jeez, I said it was the end of the video, but I got one last thing. Easy raid defenses. Please just place down a single plot, put like a flower or a cotton seed in it, something that's non-valuable that you don't care about, that you're not going to actually harvest. Put like a little bit of walls around it, and then put a spinning saw that just spins in the middle, right? That way, the bots, as they're coming towards your main plot, they will, instead of attacking your walls, instead of attacking your base, instead of attacking your main farm, they will attack that useless crop that you don't care about. They'll try to kill it. They'll get killed by the saws. And then you can have like an overhead kind of like, there's a few other YouTubers that have covered this, but if you have certain blocks at a certain height, I think it's like 10 blocks, 9 blocks, somewhere around there, and use like a, you know, a spool or a metal 3 kind of structure, the explosive bots will get caught on it, and they will not be able to blow it up, and they won't be able to damage it. So they just have just the perfect range where it catches their hitbox without being able to damage it, without going towards your farm because they get caught on that, which is amazing. All the other bots will go under it, get killed by the decoy plots, and then if you're outside of the kind of wall area, all tape bots and farm bots will target you. So you can either be up on a lift or be even higher than that, and you could just launch grenades at them or spuds, and it's just it again. It's much more effective that way to defend your farm than it is to you know over complicate your defense, especially once again to purple raids. It's a pain in the tush. Even tier 2 and higher, which the game considers tier 5, it's a lot harder. Or you could just build inside of a a ruined structure like I'm doing in my save. But yeah, that's about it. See you guys in the next video. Bye.